Okay, everybody, in this segment, I wanted to ask just a very simple question, which is whether or not the marketing for GTA 6 thus far has been quote unquote bad. I've heard a lot of people say that. You see it online all the time. The marketing for GTA 6 has sucked so far. And I think usually what they're referring to is that like there hasn't been a lot of it, or there's not a lot of new information on what the game is doing differently versus the previous games. And I think all of that is true, that there hasn't been much and we don't know much more about the game. We don't know specifics and stuff. But I think that kind of misses the point. The whole point of marketing a game is to get people talking about it, to get the discourse flowing, to get views generated, get people aware of it, and to bring in pre-orders. And that seems to be something that Rockstar is not struggling with. So in this segment, I want to break down why I think the marketing approach is actually weirdly working very, very well. I think it's just because it's GTA 6, honestly. No other game could do it this way and find success, but it seems to be working. And then I want to talk about what I think they're actually going to do as we get closer to launch. Number one is perhaps a question that is fairly straightforward, which is just flatly, is this working so far? And with that, we can actually use a tool that Google provides. So Google, of course, is like the largest data conglomerate in the world. Like they have more data on everything than anyone. And they actually make a lot of this data publicly perusable using trends.google.com. And this is something that even YouTubers can use to like track trends, figure out what videos they want to make, stuff like that. But in this tool, you can actually add in individual games or topics and then track those through a specified time period. And it will give you the overall interest as Google has tracked it through their algorithms over time. So you can effectively see how much like YouTube traffic, how much Google search traffic, and all of that stuff is being generated about a given game or topic. And what we can see when we pull this up is that I put in GTA 6, Red Dead 2, and GTA 5. Obvious reasons being, those are the most recent Rockstar releases, okay? And what's interesting is that when you pull this up and we go full across the full timeline, this is GTA 5. You can see it peaks at the 100 out of 100 scale, okay? So all of this is relative to each other. It's not like this is 100 billion views. This is just 100 being the max interest generated for this any of these topics was on in this like September 30th to October 31st 2013 period, where GTA 5 interest was sky high. And what's fascinating is you can even compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2's launch, where it achieved about 68% of that peak. You can see in that same time period, 2018, it was about that level. And this is why I stress to people who are maybe newer into the gaming space in the last like 5 to 10 years, because a lot of people don't understand how big GTA is. Like, it is huge. Dare I say huge. And it's so massive that even with how big Red Dead Redemption 2 was, you can see they peaked at 68% of what GTA 5 did. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the level we're talking about, okay? It's absolutely astronomical, okay? And over the course of time, I mean, you can see it kind of mellowed out. But what's fascinating is that even as we like look at this, you can see that GTA 5 never, thank you for that, never actually dipped that low. So even after it dropped down here, GTA Online launches and starts to pick up traction, and it's still generating crazy amounts of attention. Okay, as time goes by, Red Dead 2 comes out, and then we see a little dip in GTA 5 as that happens. But over the course of time, GTA and everything still remains impressively relevant. This huge spike here that you see for GTA 5, 7 years after it launched, is actually for the GTA RP trend. So in the height of lockdowns and everything, which you can see in this like March, April, May period in 2020, roleplay servers on GTA started to kickstart a whole new wave of attention, where basically a lot of big streamers were creating servers where you could go and roleplay. They did like, you know, cops versus robbers. They did modes where like, I even saw one server where you could play as like a DoorDash delivery driver, and you could like make deliveries through the city, and people would play that. And it was super popular. It still is. It's massively popular. In fact, Rockstar actually went and bought out one of the teams responsible for this big spike. And now they're working on online stuff for GTA 6. So you could see like crazy amounts of attention. GTA has always been gigantic. And when you compare it even to Red Dead 2, which was gigantic in its own right, you can see just how big that's going to be. And I think GTA 6 is going to be bigger than GTA 5. I don't think anybody's arguing that. I mean, the industry is bigger. There's more players out there today than there were in 2013. There's more hardware out there. Maybe not PS5 hardware compared to like 360 PS3 hardware, but considering that they're probably bringing this to PC within a year, there's definitely a pretty big install base. And I think that GTA 6 is going to pop off. Now, given that this, you might be like, okay, well, what's the point, Luke? We're looking at these trends. What is the point? The point is we're trying to see if this marketing approach has worked so far. You can see over here, I'm actually going to disable the GTA 5 comparison for the sake of this, just to make it easier to see as we look through this. So you can see this red line is Red Dead Redemption 2. How thematically appropriate. You can see on this same scale, again, comparing apples to apples, it's just comparing scales relative of Red Dead versus GTA 6. You can see that it peaked at 23 out of 100 in terms of overall interest during that April to May period of 2010. This was when the original game launched. You can see over here, though, is where we started getting trailers for Red Dead 2. You can see it's on a 4 out of 10 scale. And then the game launches and there's a ton of interest for it. GTA 6, you can see the initial leaks happen in 2022, confirming the game is real. People can see it in behind the scenes footage that was not supposed to be public, but it starts to generate some interest, and over time that starts to pick up until we get the drop of the first trailer in December of 2023. And instantly GTA 5 or GTA 6 rather jumps to a 15 on this scale. So again, if we go back and we look at it, the original game peaked at 23. That's when it launched. Red Dead 2, when it started getting advertised heavily, it was at a 4. So already on this same scale, GTA 6 is generating more interest than Red Dead. You can see over the course of the next handful of years, we don't get a whole lot of minutia or detail on this, but it never goes above a 1 or a 2 on this scale before the lead up to the launch of Red Dead 2 when it skyrockets, right? But GTA 6, you can see, has consistently maintained more interest than Red Dead 2 did during its marketing cycle. And already, what's this spike? This spike up to 28 in the May to June period of 2026. That is with like the screenshot drops and stuff. That's with some of the other revelations that they made, but with comparatively very, very little info. They are generating 28 on this scale, which I remind you is higher than the entire interest and like online traffic around the original Red Dead Redemption when it launched. Okay, it seems to be working. Okay, the point of all of this is to just look at this and see each trailer drop sees a spike, which is pretty significant, higher than any spike during the marketing of Red Dead 2. So on their metrics, it's outperforming the marketing of Red Dead 2. And we all know Red Dead 2 did just fine. It's not a sales disappointer, I'll tell you what. So it seems to be working. And even then, you can see that this is trending upwards. So they are actually gaining momentum. And each spike is like starting to pick up steam. So I think if we ask the question, is the marketing effective so far? Weirdly, yeah. Like in terms of the raw data, tracking the raw data, which is like internet traffic and interest in this, it seems to be working. Now, the other question is whether it's actually converting into sales. And this is one that's kind of interesting. So early like pre-order data analysis is suggesting that they have already generated as much as $260 million in pre-orders. That's based on like a lot of very complicated market analysis, traffic analysis. It's way above my pay grade and I'm not smart enough to track it, but it's pretty insane that they are already tracking $250 million in pre-orders for a game that we still have not seen like raw gameplay of. It's pretty remarkable. Furthermore, they also estimate based on this trajectory and what happens with similar like AAA releases that this could mean that launch week sales reach as much as $5.2 billion. And that same firm, Newzoo, who is doing this market analysis, is estimating that they could be in the realm of $8 to $9 billion in sales within the first month. And that is with their current marketing approach, which no doubt is going to pick up steam as we get closer to launch. So on the first question, which is just simply, is it effective? Is the marketing good in the sense that it's doing what it needs to do? I think it's pretty clear. it's working. I don't think that they are running into any problems. I don't think they're seeing anything that's making them go, oh God, we have to change things. The second question as part of all of this is whether or not this is like new, whether this is a different approach for what they typically do. And there's actually been a good number of people that have done sort of side-by-side analysis on this, comparing Red Dead 2's trailer release schedule and marketing schedule compared to GTA 6's. This post was made 10 months ago by Elvin Melvin, which is a phenomenal name. And basically, I mean, this is before they delayed the game to November. So this is when they still thought the game was coming out in May, which is why some of these dates are a little strange. So you can see GTA 5 speculative early December 2025. That was assuming that was 6 months before launch. But you can see trailer 3 for Red Dead launched on May 2nd of 2018. That was about 6 months before launch. Right now, we are past that point. I hate to be that guy, but like we're past that point. Because if it's coming out in November, 6 months ago or 6 months before, it would have put it in like the May, at the latest June, which is why a lot of people thought that we were going to get like a gameplay trailer or something in that time frame. But we didn't. We got some screenshots and pre-order info, and that's that. If we look elsewhere, first previews. So these were hands-off, where some select media were given the chance to see a hands-off preview and demo of the game. They couldn't play it as far as I'm aware, but they got to watch it. Those previews happened pretty much immediately after trailer 3, where some big outlets got the chance to talk about it. I will be honest, I've not heard anything about any previews or any leaks or anything. I've not heard anything like that. It's possible that it's going to happen. It's possible that they are talking to IGN and they're not telling filthy YouTubers about it. That's possible. But as of right now, there's not even like rumblings of press getting access to the game. So I don't know. It's possible. I mean, to be fair, there is Gamescom. Gamescom is at the end of August, and it's the biggest gaming event in the world. It has something stupid like 300 or 400,000 attendees. It is huge. And it's a place where a lot of behind the scenes stuff happens. Just to let you know, like, I myself have been reached out to, even though I won't be able to attend Gamescom this year for personal reasons. I've been reached out to, and my team, at least for like a dozen different opportunities of companies that want to show like teasers or trailers. They want to show it to press or media or creators early so that we can make videos on it to go live right as their coverage and their trailers go live. So like this type of thing happens all the time. It's not impossible that they use that opportunity to do a GTA 6 preview. But as far as I'm aware, Rockstar has not announced any presence at the event. And I think if they were going to be there, I mean, let's be real, it would leak instantaneously. It just takes one person to leak that for the secret to be out. So it's not impossible. I just don't think it's likely, if I'm being real. Secondly, gameplay trailer number 1 was released on August 9th of 2018. That would put it roughly 2 months before launch. That would roughly correlate to a like September gameplay trailer for GTA 6, which I think is quite likely. Gameplay trailer 2 would put it, second gameplay trailer much closer to launch. That was released in October. Bear in mind, the game would go on to launch just a few weeks later it was the 26th of October 2018. So just a little over 3 weeks later, the game launched. So that would mean like early November, we would get the trailer, the second gameplay trailer for GTA 6. Online mode details and hands-on previews, that launched a month before launch. So there's that. Launch trailer was about a week before launch, and then the official game launch on the 26th. So already we're not really in line with the marketing schedule of Red Dead 2. But even this, you can see it's pretty simple when you break it down like this, that they had 3 trailers, they had gameplay trailers, 2 of those. They did hands-on previews of the online mode, and then a launch trailer and the game released. Like it was pretty straightforward. Honestly, I'm expecting this doesn't happen until next year because I don't think online is launching with the game day one. I just don't. I know some people are genuinely shocked by that, and it always amazes me because there's a bubble, there is a bubble of online GTA players and those like GTA RP players. And I think the people who are more traditional Rockstar fans that like, the story modes and stuff. And there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that that's their bread and butter, that like the online mode, yeah, it's big and it makes stupid money, but like the bread and butter are the narratives and is the main like single player game. And so I was even seeing clips of some like big streamers with like 50,000 people in chat, which probably means like 2,000 real people in chat and the rest are bots. But I saw some clips of one of these streamers, and he was saying, wait, chat, on God, are you saying for real that GTA is not gonna have online at launch? Dude, that game's gonna flop. Like, that's genuinely what they think. It's like, but they are expecting online at launch because that's what they think the game is. They don't realize that there's like a single player component to it. It's amazing, and that's hard to believe, I know, but that's a good number of people out there. Their only exposure with GTA ever was GTA Online and GTA RP servers and stuff. That's all they know. I have to say it, even though I think at this point it's pretty well assumed by most people that online is not launching at launch. It's going to come probably early next year would be my guess. But yeah, I would expect that we probably don't see this happen because I don't think it's launching at the same time. I think that's a lesson they learned from Red Dead, is that you got to give it time to do its own thing. Gameplay trailer 1 and 2. I would like to have multiple gameplay trailers, especially considering how much this game is expected to overhaul and change. I think it makes sense probably in that like September to October time frame. So maybe September we get the first gameplay trailer, we get a second one in October, a month before launch. That makes sense to me. As for press previews, it's possible, but we also know that Rockstar really doesn't want leaks. They just really don't. It's possible that they could give traditional media like IGN access to it and do hands-off previews for them, you know, do the IGN first. They'll upload it in 360p at 50 frames per second with a potato filming it, and it'll be abysmal. But that's typically what they do, is they go to like traditional media first. And I don't personally blame them, because YouTubers and streamers regularly leak stuff. I mean, we just saw this a few weeks ago with the launch of Black Flag Resynced, where they had like pretty clear timelines and embargoes where they said, hey, embargo date is this date. Before that, you can say you're playing and reviewing the game. You cannot share anything. There were people and like TikTokers posting full videos, 10 minutes of gameplay unedited, just out there. And they're like, yeah, bite me. Like, it's crazy, but that happens all the time. Imagine what would happen with like GTA 6. It would be a nightmare. I don't blame them. If they did no press previews at all, I would not be surprised. Same with like review codes and stuff. I'm guessing that these things are going to be crazy difficult to get, and it's probably just going to be a few big outlets, kind of the standard ones that you know by name, and nobody else. I don't think that they'll give YouTubers or streamers or anybody access to it. I just don't think they will, and I think that is probably smart, if I'm being honest. As somebody who might be able to get a review code, I'm saying I wouldn't mess with it. I would not risk it, because I know, like, I won't leak it. I do know of a lot of other people that would leak it and then try to play dumb. So just don't. But going back to all of this, like the broader point of everything is just the core question. Is there something wrong with GTA 6's marketing? On a purely statistical level, I don't think so. I think they're happy with how it's going. They've spent basically nothing to market this game. They put 2 trailers out on YouTube and like Twitter. Like they've spent nothing on this so far, okay? And already the interest is higher than the overall interest for like the original Red Dead. It's higher than the marketing, than any of the interest in Red Dead 2 leading up to that game's launch. So for the entire marketing of Red Dead 2, already GTA 6 hype is above that. Like, why change it? Why mess with it if it ain't broken, don't fix it, you know? Like, we're frustrated we don't have more to work with, but that anticipation is part of what's like by design. That's part of what they want, is they want everybody on the edge of their seat, because you know damn well the moment your phone gets that notification, GTA 6 trailer 3, you are stopping everything. If you're at work, oh, I gotta go take a crap, and you run off to the bathroom. Like, we all know the moment that trailer drops, we're dropping everything to watch it, and that's what they want. That's what they want. I do think that they'll go more traditional as we get closer to launch. I think you'll see TV commercials. I think you'll see online like YouTube video commercials and ads and stuff like that as we get closer. I don't think that they're just going to go full radio silence, but there's no need for them to like go crazy overhauled, whatever. Some people were thinking that, oh, they said they're going to be really creative with GTA 6 marketing, and that means that they're probably going to do like 5 or 6 gameplay trailers all dropped at the same time. No, I think when they say creative, I think they mean we're going to go on Jimmy Fallon and like have him ride in a fake stolen car. I think that's what they mean when they say we're going to be really creative with the marketing, okay? I think it's marketing for the normies, okay? I don't think they're going to do anything totally insane. I would love to be wrong, but some people were like, yeah, Strauss Zelnick said that they were going to do something really creative that was going to blow people's minds. I think he means Jimmy Fallon. Some people think he means we're going to release a demo or something, or launch the game early. No, that's not what's happening. Okay, I'll bet you good money. I don't think that's happening. I don't think we're gonna get a demo. Call me crazy. But anyway, that's my thoughts on all this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think they have any problems right now. I think they're very happy with how it's going. The data is suggesting that they are breaking records in terms of revenue. And at that point, like, why mess with it? You know, why mess with it? But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe as well. Only like, I think 60% of you guys that watch these clips are actually subscribed. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified of new videos when they go up. But with all that said, thank you for watching. Thanks for chilling. Much love. I'll see you in the next one. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye. Mwah.